G'day guys, I recently picked up this free Android tablet on the side of the road during curbside collection, the Lenovo TB-X505F. When I took it home and powered it up, unfortunately I did notice that most of the LCD display is cracked, but the digitizer seems to be in perfect condition. I did check the unit for HDMI out, and unfortunately this model does not have a HDMI port. It uses micro USB, not USB-C. So there was still a chance that I had MHL. I did bust out my old Samsung Galaxy S4 MHL cable, which is micro USB on one side, HDMI on the other, and USB for power. But unfortunately, it definitely doesn't have MHL. So there was no easy way to get video out of this tablet, which was my first solution. Powering it on, we can see the majority of the LCD, as mentioned, is completely damaged. What does work does have lines through it. It's not perfect, but the digitizer is in perfect condition. There is no cracks or damage to the front panel, which is very good. I have tested it and all areas of the touchscreen do work. So taking a look at the specs, this unit did have 2 GB of RAM, 32 GB of flash, Qualcomm Snapdragon 429 SoC, and the display was originally 800 by 1280. Luckily for me, the device was already set up and it did have the last owner's Google account connected to it. I did remove that for their sake, but there were no passwords or lock screens on this tablet, which is very, very handy. If there was, I probably would have had a much harder time trying to do the initial setup with only a portion of the screen available. So since there was no easy way of getting video out of this through a cable, I did have two ideas. The first was to try and resize the active display area using ADB. For versions of Android older than 11, apparently you can use a command called WM overscan to resize the active display area. I'm not too sure how useful a tablet with only a very small display would be. So I think today we're going to be trying an open source tool called ScreenCopy. ScreenCopy basically lets us mirror the Android display over a USB cable to another PC. Thankfully, no apps need to be installed, and the only thing we need to do is enable USB debugging on this device. So we'll try that now. Go to Settings, which was easy. Go to System. Go to Developer Options. And then I do want to auto-rotate so I can have the top part of the screen visible. There we go there. See if I can focus down on it. A little bit better. I want to scroll down to USB debugging. Tap on that. Now I have to rotate again so the right hand side of the screen is visible. Press OK. I can rotate once more to the top of the screen. And we can see USB debugging is enabled. So I'll go get my Windows 10 Chromebook and we'll see if we can get the screen mirrored. Over on our Windows 10 laptop now, we want to download the ScreenCopy program. So let's go to Google, type in SCRCPY. And make sure it's the Jenny Mobile GitHub. They do mention that there are others out there that are just viruses or malware. And let's just scroll down. Keep going. All it says is you need a device running Android later than 5. And if you have a device running Android 11 or newer, you can forward audio. My device is running Android 10, so I won't have audio on the laptop, but it will continue playing it through the tablet. And we want to get the Windows app, and I'll get the 64-bit version. Once that's downloaded, we'll open up our downloads. There it is there. Just want to extract it using 7-zip, and we'll open up the folder. So that's the program ready to use. Now I do need to plug the Android tablet into the laptop just using a USB cable. Nothing special. So I've just got a micro USB on one end, connect to the tablet, and USB Type A on the other for the laptop. When connecting it, the Android tablet will ask if I want to enable the device or allow the device. Just make sure you click OK on that, and I should be able to just run ScreenCopy. There it is. So on the tablet, it does ask if I want to allow it, so just tap allow. Now if I run ScreenCopy again, there we go. And there's our Android tablet. See if I can focus down on it. So I can go full screen. So now we are controlling the Android tablet. As I'm moving or scrolling the developer options menu, it's also scrolling on the Android tablet in real time. If you can see it. So as I scroll it, you can see the blue dots. It's out of focus, but you can see it is working. So now we have sort of a physical Android emulator, if you wanted to call it that. It's obviously not, it's running the real hardware, but we do have access to it now, so we can set up Wi-Fi, copy files on and off it. It does just give us access back to the tablet. So right click is go back. It's a little bit laggy, so you probably couldn't play games on it. But you can see we've got the app drawer. I'll just show you the lag. So there's on the right hand side is the Chromebook, and the left is the actual tablet. So if I scroll, you can see the delay. It's about 1 or 2 seconds. So you wouldn't use it for gaming, but we'll try Chrome. We'll try play a YouTube video. I'm using Chrome, not the Android app, because I'm not logged in. Go to YouTube. If you're wondering, the laptop keyboard does work. It does pass it through. So I can just type on it, don't have to use the touchscreen. And we'll look for one of my old videos, and we'll try one of my new ones. There we go. G'day guys, today we're going to be trying to get some basic Windows applications installed and running on our Chrome OS Chromebook. If you wanted to do this yourself, just keep in mind So the audio is coming out of the tablet, not on the laptop. We'll go full screen. And I'll turn the volume down slightly just so it's not too abrasive. Oops, I've locked it by accident. I'm controlling the volume using the physical hardware keys. Cool. So we'll play the video again and just see what kind of a delay there is. To get started, we want to set up the Linux environment on Chrome OS. And set up Linux development environment. Go next. I'll keep my username the same, and we'll put it as 10 gig minimum hard drive. Okay, once that's done, we'll open us up into terminal. So YouTube isn't very viable on this device, just because there's no audio coming out through screen copy. Again, if you had a newer Android version, apparently it does work. Don't get confused and close off the actual tool, because that'll end the session. Instead, just use right click. It's a little bit tricky swiping the correct spot. There we go. So realistically, what could you use this for? Assuming you wanted to copy all your files off it and data, you could do that pretty easily using this. But once that's done, what else would you end up using this tablet for, so it doesn't end up in landfill? So you could set it up as a server. I have made videos on how to do that in the past. You could use it as an Android test environment. So if you're an app developer and you wanted to test on actual hardware, that could be an option. You could play Android games. There is some lag, so you wouldn't do any like racing games or anything like that, or shooting games. But if you wanted to do like Plants vs Zombies, probably be playable. I think for me personally, I'll probably set this up as a server, just for something to do, see how it runs. So it's the next day now, and I did end up setting it up as a RuneScape Classic server using Termux. It has been running for almost 24 hours without any issues, so I would call that a win. We can SSH into the server to start and stop services, download new packages, and things like that. And I'll just show you screen fetch. It did time out. And do screen fetch. We can see it is Android 10 on the Lenovo tablet with a Snapdragon 429, and we still have around 500 meg of RAM free, which is pretty good. So we could add a few more services if we wanted to. I will also show you RuneScape Classic running. I have pointed this towards the server already, just under cache and IP. So there we have it. A full RuneScape Classic server running locally offline on my little Lenovo tablet. Let me know if you wanted me to make a video on how to set up and run a RuneScape Classic server. I think that'll do it for today, guys. Hopefully some of you found this useful, and if you have an old Android device with a cracked display, hopefully you can still get a little bit extra life out of it. If you have any ideas on what I could do with this apart from setting it up as another server, or if you have any questions or comments, let me know down below. Otherwise, thanks for watching.